enjoying. Again, thank you so much for your time today. We will try to get right to it and be brief so you can get back to your sales day. We do want to talk about Rock Terminal Plus. This has been our um, hottest product of the year so far, by far. Our numbers are very good with Rock Terminal Plus. We've had a lot of good success stories, a lot of great feedback from agents and merchants directly alike. And we've had some good feedback on, what feature enhancements we could put out there. And the feature team has been busy this year for Rock Terminal Plus, and Jennifer has all kinds of new details for you with new product enhancements to this product. If you haven't looked at it in a few months, you're definitely in the right place to take a look at what we've got in store for today. Um, if you do have any questions, please feel free to use the chat or the Q&A pod. If you have questions later on after the presentation, no worries. You can always email our product sales management team at askpsm@payrock.com. I'll go ahead and add that email address to the chat so you don't have to furiously write it down. And also, as we move through the presentation, please feel free to add any questions you have to the chat or the Q&A pod. I'll be on hand to answer them. And we also have Jennifer Steele, who is much smarter than I am, so she'll be able to answer some questions live as we go through this training. So thank you so much for joining again. Without further ado, I just want to go ahead and introduce Jennifer Steele, Product Sales Manager for Rock Terminal Plus. Thanks, Jen.
Thank you, Casey. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know you guys are all very, very busy, and I'm going to try and make this as beneficial for you as possible with your time. So, I'm sure you guys have noticed that Payrock has been shifting the focus to our core products and sunsetting some of our existing third-party offerings. Payrock's core products have had a lot of success this year, and our numbers keep rising month over month. Rock Terminal Plus is a product that we have been developing for a little over a year now, and it's grown quite a bit since the launch and has become by far our best selling and hottest terminal solution here at Payrock. The numbers are in, and literally month over month, Rock Terminal Plus is outselling pretty much everything else we have here. We have had tremendous feedback, as Casey mentioned, on this solution, and we will continue to make enhancements to it. We are not even close to done with our roadmap and everything that we want to bring to Rock Terminal Plus to bring to you guys and to your merchants. So, with that being said, let's just go ahead and get into the good stuff of Rock Terminal Plus. So, what is Rock Terminal Plus? In a nutshell, Rock Terminal Plus is a payment terminal that allows merchants to serve their customers, accept payments, manage their inventory, create invoices, send payment links, and more. The image you see on the screen is our Newland X800 device, which we'll go into further in another slide. But Newland is a great manufacturer that we partnered with for the Rock Terminal Plus devices. That's right, I said devices. There are multiple terminals in this Rock Terminal Plus family. The Rock Terminal Plus solution is packed full of great features and with more to come. The merchants have access to a merchant portal or back office where they can load tons of product and inventory, create and send those invoices and payment links. I think one of our largest merchants has about 5,000 or 8,000 products loaded into their virtual terminal system. Rock Terminal Plus can also track that inventory, so keeping a quantity count for the merchant so they know when their products are getting low. The merchant can view transaction history, they can run reports, process voids and refunds. They have tip adjust, tip prompt, tip suggestion, and I'll be giving you a sneak peek inside that merchant portal and back office shortly. Payment methods can also be stored within the system as tokens, and the merchant can set up transactions to be taken later, like recurring billing. Also an option. Recurring billing can be done in installment payments or subscription payments, giving your merchant further options to provide to their customers. The customer info can also be stored along with their cards within the vault or the merchant portal. Employee management is also an option. So if your merchant has multiple employees using the Rock Terminal Plus back office and physical terminals, they have multiple employees. They can have multiple logins. So with Rock Terminal Plus, this works for retail merchants as well as bars, cafes, smaller restaurants, and food trucks, tattoo shops, hair salons, doctor's offices, smaller restaurants, like I mentioned before. All of these are great options for Rock Terminal Plus. And by turning on those employee or server IDs, the merchant can see who performed what transactions on what terminals, as well as track the tips by employees as well. And speaking of tips, Rock Terminal Plus has recently released a tip summary report. So on top of the complete tip report that the Rock Terminal Plus solution will create for that merchant, staff can easily print out their summary report and just get their totals of the tips for that day. And of course, with this being a core product of Payrox, this also gets your merchant access to any of Payrox pricing programs. So you can put Rock Terminal Plus on IC Plus, on flat rate, on traditional pricing, as well as Payrox Choice programs, which of course are Reward Pay Choice, Consumer Choice Card Price Entry, and Consumer Choice Cash Price Entry. For those of you who are not aware, Reward Pay Choice is Payrox compliant surcharging solution, which reads the bin range of a credit card and applies a surcharge with a message for the customer. The Reward Pay Choice program has a max cap of 3% for the surcharge, and the customer can either accept that surcharge or back out of the sale and present a debit card, cash, or check and not have to pay that surcharge fee. So that's Reward Pay Choice, Payrox compliant surcharging solution, and it's very popular and saves the merchants a lot of money on their processing. Now, Consumer Choice is our other choice pricing program that also saves merchants a lot of money and presents two prices at checkout. So Consumer Choice is a dual pricing program that can display a card price and a cash price directly on the terminal for that consumer. For Consumer Choice, any payments made on a card, be it a credit card or a debit card, will pay the card price, and anyone paying by cash, check, or ACH will pay that discounted cash price. This is a very, very popular solution that leverages all of our pricing programs and even allows clients to manage their inventory. They can set up product or menu, I guess I should say, catalog within Rock Terminal Plus in the back office, and those items will show up on the devices for a quick checkout. Okay, kind of went off on a tangent on our pricing programs there. Let's get back to Rock Terminal Plus and the features that are available to your merchants. We also have solutions in Rock Terminal Plus like multi-mid and multi-location. Multi-mid is the ability for up to 10 mids to be on a single terminal. So think hair salons with, say, 8 different hairstylists. Each stylist can have their own mid, their own account within that single shared terminal. This is also great for tattoo artists, for doctors' offices, for artist co-ops, and more. Multi-location is available for those merchants who have multiple store or business locations and want to be able to keep track of all of them within a single merchant portal login. Pretty much any merchant that needs to have a terminal option available is probably a pretty good fit for Rock Terminal Plus. Rock Terminal Plus is widely scalable across multiple merchant types and even B2B. I will note that our level 2, level 3 features are currently being enhanced. So we do hopefully have on our next training call for Rock Terminal Plus, I'll have more updates on our level 2, level 3 being re-released. Rock Terminal Plus also offers a QuickBooks Online integration at no additional cost to the merchant. This QuickBooks Online integration is available with all of the available pricing programs and can report either the base amount of the transaction or the full amount, which would include tip, tax, the differential or surcharge fee, and the transaction amount. The integration will capture both the card present and card not present transactions. So whether they're run on the terminals, whether they're run through the mobile app, through the virtual terminal, all those transactions can be pushed to the merchant's QuickBooks Online account, as well as stored in the merchant's portal for easy reconciliation. Excuse me. And of course, there's always more to come on the roadmap for Rock Terminal Plus. So stay tuned and keep joining these trainings so that you stay up to date on Rock Terminal Plus and all of its latest features. And while we're speaking of latest features, we are so happy to announce and invite you guys to learn more about the Rock Terminal Plus mobile app. Merchants can now take payments on the go. The new mobile app extends the power of Rock Terminal Plus beyond the countertop terminal. It's flexible acceptance. There is an optional Bluetooth card reader called the Rocket, and that's RCKT. This reader can work in conjunction with the mobile app, or the merchant can simply use the mobile app. They'll be able to create QR code payments. They will be able to create payment links, create invoices, have a mobile wallet support. They'll also be able to do real-time batch reports, transactions, and invoices within the mobile app. And of course, the mobile app will also feature the light inventory management, so the ability to track stock and sales without using an extra system. It is integrated with Reward Pay Choice and Consumer Choice, as well as traditional pricing. So all of those pricing programs I just went over for the physical terminals, these are available on that mobile app as well. When using Choice, there's no additional fee for the mobile app. And this is a big leap in the mobility for the merchant and their convenience, especially for service businesses, events, catering, mobile vendors, food trucks, lots of different options for those for the mobile app. Any merchant wanting the mobile app will require a Rock Terminal Plus virtual terminal account, as this is what actually powers the mobile app. The Rocket Reader I mentioned is optional, and pricing for the mobile app, or excuse me, not the mobile app, but for the Rocket Reader is actually in the Payrock equipment cost document. And you can see on my screen right there that cute little calculator looking thing on the right, that is the Rocket. It does allow for tip, excuse me, well, it does allow for tip too, but what I was saying was for dip, tap, swipe, all of that can be done on that mobile Rocket. Some other great enhancements that we have released this month is the light accessories for our new X800. We have expanded our hardware compatibility to support a cash drawer and a barcode scanner for the X800. These additions position the X800 as a stronger contender for the retail environment and for high volume checkouts. That cash drawer and the scanner also do require a new multi-com hub that works with the X800 so that the X800 can power the cash drawer. We also launched Cloud Connect, which is bridging the desktop and the terminal for the merchants. So Cloud Connect enables merchants to create an invoice on their desktop or laptop and complete the payment on a physical terminal. This is ideal for service-based businesses like auto shops that need that desktop to device flexibility. We also launched deferred authorization or offline acceptance. Some of you may know it as store and forward. Merchants in remote or low connectivity areas or farmers markets, pop-ups, they can now accept card payments offline. So transactions are securely stored and processed once the device reconnects to the internet. Excuse me. There are a lot of other smaller enhancements that have been released too, like a cash register function, so that when customers do pay in cash, the merchant or staff can quickly enter in the total and the cash presented amount, and it will calculate the change due. Another small but mighty enhancement is the ability to enter an item quantity on the terminals. So if a customer is purchasing, say, 25 items of the same thing, the merchant could simply enter in 25 and not have to tap on that item screen 25 times. Again, it's mighty, but it's a small enhancement. And of course, there are more enhancements, but we are short on time, and I want to make sure to get through this presentation. And I also want to make sure to show you guys a little look behind the curtain and see inside the merchant portal of Rock Terminal Plus.
And I
So
hate
you've heard.
to interrupt
Go
there,
ahead.
Jen, or anything like that, but I just wanted to underscore how cool this is. So this is our first basically standalone mobile app that can be used as a standalone mobile app that Payrock has released, I think in about 16 years. So huge deal for us. We're really comparing this product now to Swipe Simple. You might be familiar with Swipe Simple. That is good for clients that are in a mobile heavy environment. You're going to see the pricing is a lot less expensive than Swipe Simple, and all of our pricing programs work directly with the Rock Terminal Plus mobile app. So it can be used on its own. It can be used as a complement to the rest of the Rock Terminal Plus product suite, and even the virtual terminal, like Jen said. So very excited about this specific launch for the mobile app. I know a lot of people have been asking about this for years. We do have the mobile app available with Rock Services, our other product, our service-based product. But for merchants that are looking for more of a direct mobile environment for a little bit less cost, the Rock Terminal Plus mobile app is right there for it. So we're very excited about it. And then, you know, the other enhancements that Jen mentioned, a barcode scanner, a cash drawer, those work with the X800 device. And Jen's going to talk a little bit more about that on the upcoming slides. And I don't want to take up too much time here. But when I play with these devices and the features that we've released in the last couple of months, I compare it to Clover, really. So it is truly like a light point of sale system, can do inventory tracking, barcode scanning, has a cash drawer built in. For a fraction of the price to get into Clover. So it's really becoming our biggest light POS system that we have. So just wanted to kind of put a couple of plugs in there for how big the Terminal Plus mobile app, the cash drawer, the barcode scanner are, and they're all available right now. They're in your latest equipment price sheet. So so go ahead and check it out. Sorry, Jen. Thank you.
No, thank you. That allowed me a chance to grab a drink of water and get ready for the next couple of slides. And don't worry, guys, we're not going to bore you to death with slides. I'm going to get through a couple more, and then we will take that look into the merchant portal. So without further ado, we've talked a lot about our awesome new mobile app. We've talked about some of our features and functions. So allow me to introduce you to the Rock Terminal Plus family. The hardware that works with Rock Terminal Plus that runs the actual software applications is from Newland. That's the actual manufacturer of the device, and that is Newland, Newland. We have 3 different physical terminals and 1 pin pad available from Newland, and they all run the same Rock Terminal Plus app, meaning all 3 of these terminals share the same software, so they all offer the same features. There's a few functionality differences as far as sending receipts, but the logic and the software that powers those terminals are all exactly the same. The Rock Terminal Plus devices are the Newland N950, the N950-S, and the X800. The pin pad is the P180, which connects to the N950-S terminal and only the N950-S terminal for those needing a pin pad. These are all Android devices. You can see the pin pad on the far right of your screen, the X800 on the far left, and then in the middle-ish slightly right, is the N950-S. The N950 and the N950-S look very, very similar. The N950 is just a tiny, tiny bit bigger than the N950-S. The N950 is perfect for both desktop environments and for on the go through the Wi-Fi or 4G connection. And it's also completely touchscreen and, like I mentioned, slightly larger than the N950-S. The N950-S provides a stable, reliable payment solution for countertop environments with an Ethernet or Wi-Fi connectivity. The easiest way to remember the N950-S is that the S stands for stationary, meaning it must remain plugged into a power source, hence the stationary. We also have the Newland X800, which features that dual screen. It's an 8-inch merchant-facing display screen and a 5-inch customer-facing display screen. This device enhances the checkout efficiency and customer engagement. It offers Wi-Fi and 4G connectivity, and this device turns a lot of heads. And frankly, it's my new favorite device in my office today. As we mentioned with Rock Terminal Plus's mobile app, that is available both Android and iOS. And the Rock Terminal Plus mobile app allows merchants to process payments from their smartphones without the need for additional hardware. All of these devices can hold the inventory for easy checkout experience and the ability to create itemized receipts. We have received, as Casey mentioned earlier, a tremendous amount of positive feedback on these terminals and the software functionality. Part of that is in help because of you guys and your feedback and your merchants' feedback with running and using these terminals. These devices are cutting edge with fast transaction times and very user-friendly software with a nice sleek design. So if you're familiar with the Valor ecosystem, Rock Terminal Plus is very, very similar. Payrock partnered with Valor for the back office and the actual software that runs these devices. But it's important to note that the terminals are branded Payrock. This helps remove one of the barriers in selling, in the selling process for you guys, the barrier of explaining who these third-party solutions are and how we work with them. When selling Rock Terminal Plus, you won't have to explain who Valor is or any other third-party vendor. Rock Terminal Plus is Payrock branded, Payrock deployed, and Payrock supported. So you, as a representative of Payrock, you can just go ahead and remove one of those barriers in your guys' selling process. All the Rock Terminal Plus terminals can accept any type of card transaction, whether that's NFC, dip, tap, or swipe, and including Google Pay and Apple Pay. The X800 is the biggest in the terminal lineup and has the customer-facing display screen, which we went over. And customers love that. The large merchant screen is fantastic and makes for a very user-friendly terminal. Receipts can actually be emailed or texted or printed from the X800. And all of these terminals, including the PIN pad and the mobile app, will do signature capture. Those digital signatures will be printed on the receipts and also show in the merchant portal on the digital receipts. So between the terminals, the mobile app, the PIN pad, the virtual terminal, and all of Rock Terminal Plus's features, Rock Terminal Plus fits a lot of different kinds of merchants. Casey, before I keep going, do you need me to stop for any questions?
Might as well do a little question recap so far. We've had some great
break it
questions.
up.
Keep them coming, everybody. Yeah, it's great. First question was, can taxes be applied to certain items only? The answer to that is yes. When a merchant is creating a product or editing a product later on, they do have the option. There's a drop-down menu for taxable, yes or no, so they can create taxable products and non-taxable products. Had a question about SaaS fees. There is a monthly fee of $9.99 a month for Rock Terminal Plus, only for traditional pricing. So your IC Plus pricing, tiered or flat rate. If using choice pricing, reward pay choice, or consumer choice, there is no other monthly fee, no SaaS fee. Had a question about additional monthly fees and cost for the Bluetooth unit. Only the cost of the hardware, no additional monthly fee for any of these features. Jen's gonna talk about QuickBooks integration as well. No additional fees for any of the products and services that Jen's mentioning. Had a question on pricing too. I will make sure that pricing is listed in the boarding wizard. It's in there somewhere, but I'll find out where. I did paste like a picture, a screenshot of the raw pricing guide. The first price you see listed is a refurbished price. The second price is the new price. So if you do have any questions later on pricing, please let us know at askpsm@payrock.com. Also had a question. I should have mentioned this up front. There will be a copy of this recording sent out to you later on today. If you register for any of these trainings that we have on our training calendar, even if you attend or don't attend live, you'll get a recording of the session later on today. Had a question requesting modifiers for the X800. That is in the works. I don't know if it's the next one on the roadmap, but that one has been in the works for a while. We're finalizing modifications and being able to add modifiers to products in the system. I don't know the cost about equipment costs or program costs. Any other costs for monthly? No, there's no other cost for monthly costs or transaction costs or per device costs if a merchant's using choice pricing. If they are using standard pricing, there is that $9.99 price for Rock Terminal Plus, and then a $2.99 per device fee. We had this. I knew this one was coming. Is tap to pay on the screen available yet? No, that's not. That's in the works too. Hopefully, we're going to have the summer of tap to pay here at Payrock. So it's not available right now. That would essentially, for the mobile app, turn the merchant's phone into a payment device. It's coming. It's in the works. So hopefully, we have that by the next time we do a Rock Terminal Plus training. So make sure to tune in. Will a signature make a transaction on the mobile app card present? Jen, I haven't looked into that one. Is there a signature screen when someone completes a card present transaction on the mobile app?
There is a signature screen. So when the merchant and the customer are checking out using the mobile app, there will actually be a screen that pops up and the merchant can turn their phone sideways and essentially their entire camera screen becomes the signature pad. Whether
Great.
that makes it truly card present, I can't promise you that. I think that has more to do with how the card was either inserted into the device, but it will do signature capture.
Yep. If a merchant has the app paired with a Bluetooth reader, gets a signature on the screen, it's the same as taking a card present device in store. So that's going to be a good one. I also had a question. Is a merchant able to bring over inventory from another product like Square? Well, a merchant can import items into Rock Terminal Plus. So if they can export it from whatever they're using right now, they could certainly import that into Rock Terminal Plus. Am I right about that, Jen?
You are. There is a import feature in the product tab. So it's really nice too. In that section, they have a sample file. So the merchant can download that sample file to make sure that they have their columns lined up correctly. They can export their information or their existing product and inventory from their current system and line those fields up. And once those columns or fields are lined up correctly, they can hit an import button and within about maybe 6 to 10 seconds, obviously, depending on the size of the inventory, that inventory will be fully loaded into the Rock Terminal Plus system. So I've done it a couple of times with some tests. The only thing that doesn't pull through is if they had any images of the product or the service. So the merchant would have to re-add that. But other than that, all of their pricing, all of their descriptions, if they had SKU numbers, all of that information could be easily imported directly into the system without having to manually enter everything.
Fantastic. That's what we wanted to hear. We'll take a little pause from the questions for now, but keep them coming. Jen, back to you.
All right. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the merchant portal. By now, you guys should be able to see that Rock Terminal Plus is not just a terminal. And as I mentioned a couple of times, Rock Terminal Plus comes with a merchant portal or back office, which can have the virtual terminal in it as well. The virtual terminal empowers merchants to be able to accept those payments over the phone, create and send invoices, create and send payment links via email or SMS. They can set up recurring billing, create QR codes if they're taking any donations, things like that. The payment links can be either set up as a set amount, so I can specifically request, say, $50 from my customer, or an open field amount as well. So I know there's a lot of merchants that want to just be able to send a payment link with an open field amount. We do have that option with Rock Terminal Plus. And that open field amount can also be used as, say, like a pay now button for a merchant's website if they're wanting to accept donations, or maybe donations on their social media site, for example. Rock Terminal Plus can help with that. Rock Terminal Plus also offers cash management. So now we're not going to drive to the bank and deposit the cash for them, but Rock Terminal Plus cash management system will track those payments within the transaction tab in the merchant portal. So whether the merchant is taking cash payments face to face at the terminal level, or maybe they're out on the go with their computer and they have their virtual terminal with them, either place will be able to track those cash payments. And this is huge for our merchants on Consumer Choice. We also have the ability to connect Payrock ACH within Rock Terminal Plus as well. So giving those Consumer Choice merchants who are card not present the ability to pay that discounted cash price is huge and very convenient for your customers. With that being said, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a second and switch over so I can show you inside the actual Rock Terminal Plus solution. So give me just 1 second while I flip my screens around.
I did have one quick question on comparing this to Square. This is kind of in relation to small and micro merchants. There is kind of a break-even point, but selling Rock Terminal Plus, especially with the mobile app with Consumer Choice, it's gonna be a very low-cost option for small and micro merchants. They still will have that $25 monthly program fee. That includes the merchant account, next day funding guaranteed, which Square can't do. It includes you being their account rep, which Square doesn't have many account reps at all. So there are a lot of positives. Yes, there is going to be a $25 monthly fee, but with Square, the merchants are paying at least 3 to 3.5% and 30 cents a transaction. So for those small and micro merchants that are using Square and object to pricing, there are quite a few different bullet points you could make in argument for that.
Thank you for that, Casey. All right, without further ado, here is inside the Rock Terminal Plus dashboard. So the merchant portal is browser based. So the merchant, if they are not in the office, if they are at home, if they're hopefully on vacation somewhere, they can easily sign into their laptop or their mobile phone and be able to see everything at a glance that's going on in the business. They'll be able to view transactions, batch out all of that information. This is the main dashboard page of the Rock Terminal Plus merchant portal. They'll be able to kind of see what their average sale amount is, their number of transactions they currently have going on in the system, what their average volume or average sale amount. They'll also be able to compare this month versus last month by hovering over each one of the vertical bars. They'll also be able to see their annual sales. So by month, again, very quickly, very easily grabbing a bunch of information at once. For any of those merchants who have recurring accounts set up, they'll be able to see which ones are moving, a total of how many are moving, and if any of those transactions have declined. They also have shortcuts. So if a merchant very quickly needed to get into an invoice to create one or to take a payment, they can come right here into these shortcuts or come right over here to the virtual terminal. User management, so we touched on this in the presentation that we do have the ability to add and employees to the system, and we also have the ability to curb, that's the word I'm looking for, control where they can go in the system and what they can see and do. So for those merchants who have a new team, maybe a bunch of people are training, they've just opened, they don't want any of the new people to be offering voids or refunds or discounts, things like that. They can set those up here in the user management and be able to track those customers as well. In the transaction tab, this is where they will be able to see all of their transactions, the date and time, the type of transaction. So you can see here, I have a card void. Further down, I have those cash sales that we talked about. There's another void, refund. All of that information, transaction type is here. Card brand and last 4 digits of the card. When the customers, or excuse me, the staff are being tracked in the system, each time somebody logs into this merchant portal and initiates some sort of sale, they can be tracked here in the system as well. You'll be able to see the transaction mode too. So here you can see we've done invoices, we've done virtual terminal payments, we've done manually keyed payments, pay now links. All of that information is going to be tracked. If they had multiple locations, you'd be able to track the locations, customer name, invoice name, the exact device that these transactions were run on, the device type. You can see down here, I can keep scrolling and gather even more information and the breakdown of the transactions. Lots of information in here. And the merchant can even run voids from here as well by grabbing those transactions. They can also very quickly and easily at any point click on the vertical ellipses and view those receipts. If that merchant signed on the physical devices, those digital signatures would show up right here on that receipt. Receipts can be, again, sent via SMS, email, or reprinted from the system as well. So if that merchant walks out the door and if it's gusty here, like it is in other places of the world, maybe their receipt blew away, no problem. Merchant can handle that really quickly and easily. You can also see that we can track the ACH sales, transactions, and ACH recurring as well from this tab. Within the virtual terminal, of course, we can run a sale. So whether that is a Moto sale, so whether it's mail order or telephone order, we can process those payments very quickly, very easily in the system. With recurring, we have, like I mentioned before, subscription and installments. So whether that merchant just needs to collect 4 payments of $25 or has a yearly membership or a monthly membership that is going to continue to run until that customer says cancel, we can set that up. Pre-authorizations, refunds, all of that can be done within the virtual terminal. Creating the invoice or the payment link. Again, by quickly filling out the fields, and anything with an asterisk, of course, is required. Anything else is not. You can see that we can create and update the invoices in QuickBooks as well. So if I were to create this invoice and click this nice little button right here, it is going to push that transaction data into QuickBooks. If I send this as an invoice or a pay now link, when my customer receives it and pays it, it will automatically push that payment and mark that invoice as paid within QuickBooks. The merchant can also, of course, enter in any home address, shipping address for their customers as well. You can see we can create those QR code payments. We can take those cash payments and track those within the system, ACH payments as well. Device management, this is just where your merchant can come in if they needed to, say, run an update on their terminal, or they maybe wanted to add a footer on their receipt saying, hey, it's our 50th anniversary. Come in and see us this month. They can do that within the device management. I love this feature. I know it probably doesn't seem that cool, but having a contact us button directly at your merchant's fingertips, where if they're having a problem and they need to talk to somebody, maybe they can't find a batch, or they can't find a transaction, or they can't remember how to run a refund. All of Payroc's contact information will be here. So when your merchant needs us the most, they can very quickly and very easily get a hold of us with our phone numbers and our contact information. In the vault, we can add customers. This can be done manually, or the system will start capturing customers and cardholder information as they are run within the system. We have also added a notes tab. So if you have a merchant who needs to write notes about their customer, that information is all housed in here, which is called the vault, and it stays in the vault. A lot of POS systems will have a note section, and then those notes print on receipts. So maybe it is that the customer has a dairy allergy, something like that. These notes remain in the vault for the merchant's eyes only. Multiple cards can be stored on file. Those are tokenized. And so you will see when I go to my actual list of customers, I have all of their names. I have the number of cards saved on file, their emails, any of that contact information that we have gathered either from manually entering or from the card user processing through the system. It will all show here. They'll be able to see the last transaction dates. They will be able to see who does the most transactions in their store, who's kind of their number one customer. If they're looking for something specific, they can even come in here and see just the transactions for that specific customer as well. So again, if they're looking for something specific, they can find that here in the system. And of course, just like inventory and some of these other ones, we do have the ability to import customers. So if you do have existing customers in, say, Square or a different POS system, Rock Terminal Plus, again, wants to be user-friendly. They want the merchant to love this system. So we give them access to be able to easily bring those customers into Rock Terminal Plus, but it can also very easily push those customers to QuickBooks as well. So if they don't exist, maybe the merchant is just starting to dabble in QuickBooks and has just got an account. So we actually have the ability to push inventory into and customers into QuickBooks Online along with the data from the card transactions. In the settings tab, this is where you guys and your merchants can see all of your inventory. So I have added pictures, I have created product names, we have SKUs, like I had mentioned earlier, descriptions of those products. It's going to track quantity, so we'll be able to see how many we still have on hand. Categories can be made as well. So if your merchant maybe is an auto parts store or a hair salon where we have a lot of different categories, from a haircut and a hair color and highlights and lowlights, all of that, we have the ability to create those categories and make it very quick and very easy for your merchants to find the products that they're looking for, either in the virtual terminal or in the physical terminals as well. Easy search functions. They can start typing in what they're looking for on the device or in the virtual terminal, and it will start popping up. Reports, of course, merchants always need their reports. So in here, we have the ability to do the batch out report. We can create a tax report for them, a tip report. We do have card updater. So any of those merchants, or excuse me, customers potentially on, say, recurring billing. If their card expires or their card has been canceled for any reason, this system will do card updater and try and go out and find that new card information. We have a QuickBooks report. Most merchants who are familiar and know and love QuickBooks, they will do their QuickBooks report out of QuickBooks, but we do have one here. And then an inventory report as well. There's a lot of different information that they can gather from this. For those newer merchants who are really kind of getting a handle on what what's selling, what's not, what's popular in my store. They can come in to their top sold products report. They can change or create exactly the custom field date range that they're looking for and be able to gather this information on their top selling products. They will also have a breakdown of the full sales report. Let's try and get a little more info in here. There we go. For the gross sales, this is my reward pay account. So we do have a fee amount broken out. We can track those tips. We can track the tax, any refunds. All of that information is here within the system. Lastly, I'm going to be a little bit of a geek again. This is another one of my favorite features in Rock Terminal Plus is the knowledge base. This is a working QRG or quick reference guide, field reference guide, user guide, whatever you want to call this. This is at your merchant's fingertips. So once they have completed training with the Payrock team and they realize, you know what, I need to create my first refund and I don't remember how, they can come to this knowledge base, go into the search bar, type in what they're looking for, and issue a refund. That's exactly what I need to do. And it's going to give them the step-by-step instructions on how to do that. They need to navigate to the transaction tab, which we already were in. They need to go to the sidebar menu, locate that transaction, click on the vertical ellipses, and issue that refund. Very quick, very easy. Nobody has to call support, sit on hold. You can see over here on the left, we have a tremendous amount of information in here to help those merchants with what they need and have that information at their fingertips at all times. With that being said, I'm going to stop sharing for just one more second and flip my screen one more time. So give me just a second here and I will give you guys your day back. So to wrap this all up nicely, thank you guys so much for your time. We really appreciate it. If anyone is interested in their own demo account of Rock Terminal Plus, very much similar to what I just showed you on my own screen, please send an email to askpsm@payrock.com with your request. I will, of course, want to know what pricing program you want and a couple of additional information for your demo accounts, but we are more than happy to get you guys these tools that you can take directly to your merchant. Let them play with the virtual terminal. Let them play with the physical terminal. We have physical demo terminals. We have demo accounts for the virtual terminal and merchant portal. We have all of these tools for you guys. And if anybody needs a demo account, please email askpsm@payrock.com. If you think of any other questions after we wrap up this call, same thing. Please email the product team at askpsm@payrock.com. Keep registering for these trainings. Like Casey and I have both said, a lot of our core products, they're continuing to grow and evolve and get bigger and better and stronger. And so keep registering for these trainings. New ones are being added all the time. It's every Tuesday and Thursday, barring any sort of holiday. And they are packed full of information. We want you guys to have the tools that you need while you're out there selling on the streets. So like Casey mentioned, this call is being recorded and you will be sent the recordings later today or tomorrow. So keep an eye out for those. And with that being said, Casey, anything else? Any other questions? Anything to wrap up with before we let everybody have their day back?
Thanks, Jen. Yeah, we did have quite a few more questions, and I'll just go ahead and read them out loud just in case you're driving or something like that. We want to make it easier, and we don't want you to have to look at your screen. So we'll recap some of the questions. Someone's working with an HVAC supply merchant. That sounds like a good merchant to me, but they need different discount percentages applied to certain customers. Is that possible? And yes, it is. The merchant can apply a discount on the per transaction level. They can even apply one to an invoice. So that's not a global setting in there, the discount amount.
The discounts, Casey, I will mention are total. So at the physical terminal level, discounts can be applied, but at the moment it is a total. So whether that's $5 for the entire transaction amount or 10%, it can be a percentage or dollar amount. But we can't have, say, 3 items on the receipt and only apply a discount to 1 item. Again, like a lot of our other things, we do have discounts and we are making some modifications to those as well, but we do have discounts right now at the terminal level.
Great, and that should be fine for certain customers to apply
Absolutely.
that discount to all products. I had a question about next day funding. What's the cutoff time for next day funding? And the next day funding program that's included with our choice programs, the cutoff time is 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. If a merchant needs something later than that, they can go up a level for an additional small monthly fee and go with Same Day Money Express. And the cutoff for Same Day Money Express is 4 a.m. Eastern. I also had a question about the Payrock training. Does the Payrock training team help the merchant once the account is open to get it up and running? And yes, they do. And thanks for reminding me to put a plug out there for our merchant training and implementation team. They do a great job. So on the application or during the boarding process, if you select that you'd like Payrock to train your merchant, the training and implementation team will reach out to you and the merchant to schedule some time to get up and running and do an initial training. Usually takes 30 to 60 minutes on that training. If the merchant needs more time after that, there's no limit to it. We'll go ahead and schedule another training to make sure that they're up and running. After they're up and running, since of course this is one of our core products, as Jen mentioned, it's supported directly by our gateway support teams, our terminal support teams, our merchant support teams. So it is a Payrock product, so we support it directly in-house for everything that they need, especially training. Had a question about a time clock for employee tracking. No, we do not have a time clock in Rock Terminal Plus at this time. It's not on the roadmap as far as I'm aware either, but it's definitely something Jen and I can mention in our conversations with our product team. Had a question on the mobile app. Can it be set to where the employee can't see everything else, like other customer transactions? Yes, it can. When a merchant creates new user accounts within Terminal Plus, and there's no limit on user accounts, there's no additional fee for extra user accounts. They can set the permissions per user. So basically, if they just want the user to accept transactions and that's it, no reporting or no admin features, they can limit those when they set up the user account. Just going through these. Jen, you might be able to answer this better too. This is a good question. For the QuickBooks integration, can Rock Terminal Plus actually mark a QuickBooks invoice as paid?
Absolutely. So when I was showing you guys the invoice section, there was that little box to create and update QuickBooks. So anytime that is pushed when a transaction is being sent to the customer to pay, as soon as that customer pays, that will automatically push that transaction data to QuickBooks and mark that invoice as paid. The merchant does not need to circle back, does not need to manually do that. As long as they track it from the beginning of, say, invoice creation or payment link creation, anything that's done after that will be automatically updated in QuickBooks for the merchant. This is a direct integration, not a plugin. So it's going to happen basically in real time. That customer pays the hosted payment page from the payment link. And by the time the customer or the merchant, switches over or logs into their QuickBooks account, it will already be showing there as paid.
That is pretty cool. I'm glad the question came up. I wanted to make sure and highlight that because that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool feature. It's a very powerful QuickBooks integration that Rock Terminal Plus offers.
And again, just to make sure I've driven that point home, this is QuickBooks Online only. No other versions, desktop, POS, any of those will work. This is strictly for online.
Exactly. We had some more questions here. Good questions today, everyone. I want to make sure to get to them all. I had a question about third-party integrations. Does Rock Terminal Plus connect to Shopify or a payroll service or work scheduling add-on? No, not at this time. If you want to work with maybe Shopify or WooCommerce or some other shopping carts, the Payrock Gateway or the Fluid Pay Gateway might be a better option. We're really looking at Rock Terminal Plus as a standalone payment solution. If a merchant needs anything outside of what it offers, as mentioned, there are other monthly services that can work, like time clock management, things like that, but we don't have that in the system for now. A question is Rock Terminal Plus inventory exportable and importable with Excel? Yes, it is. If a merchant does go into the product catalog, there's an action drop down, and the first two options are import and export, and those are generated as CSV files or comma separated values files that are open. Oh, you can open up in QuickBooks and send them out. Just trying to go through some of these. Is there a way for a merchant to turn off the line items permanently? Jen, can you address that one? Currently, there's a merchant that's out there unchecking the line item box for each transaction. Is there a way that they can turn that off permanently?
The line, like creating an itemized receipt?
I believe it is in the virtual terminal, and then if they select line items or enable level 2 and level 3, they have to deselect line items. Is there a way to enable that globally?
You don't have to do line items if you don't want to. So if you wanted to just create an invoice or say a payment link, you don't have to do the line items. The line items will only be if you want that itemized receipt with the price per item that you selected. As far as level 2, level 3 goes, on the far right-hand side of the screen, you can scroll down just a little bit and you can activate or deactivate the level 2, level 3. I keep mine to deactivate because most of the transactions I'm running aren't level 2, level 3. So when you hit deactivate, it will no longer auto-populate the line items that the level 2, level 3 forces. So when you get back to your office, if you're in the car driving, anything like that, get into your virtual terminal, scroll down to the bottom right, and you will see a button in the level 2, level 3 section that says activate or deactivate benefits. Deactivating those benefits will simply just turn it off. As soon as you need that, you can hit activate and it's ready to go. I hope I answered that question. If I didn't, come back to me at askpsm@payrock.com and we can go into it further.
Great stuff, Jen. And just to recap a couple questions, I know we only have a couple of minutes left. Rock Terminal Plus cannot connect to an order or kitchen printer yet, or KDS. So if that's a need for the merchant, let's take a look at the Clover system instead of Rock Terminal Plus. I had a quick question to recap too. The QuickBooks integration with Rock Terminal Plus only works with QuickBooks Online, so it does not work with desktop versions of QuickBooks. But I know Intuit, the company that makes and manages QuickBooks, they want their clients to go to QuickBooks Online, so it might be a conversation to have with that customer. I'm sure they know the path that it would take to get from QuickBooks Desktop to online. And there was a question: can this provide a link to a website for like a Pay Now button? And yes, it can. So merchants can use Rock Terminal Plus for emailing or testing out payment links for specific amounts. They could also create a kind of a customer entered amount pay button. So the customer would enter the amount that they're paying, and they can copy and paste that URL and put it on their website or social media or anything like that. I think that's most of the questions right now. We had one more about initiating transactions, and the way that Rock Terminal Plus is set up to work. The devices are meant to function independently of the virtual terminal, so they're essentially standalone devices that can sit on the counter or be taken around. All the transactions that are taken in those device-initiated transactions will display in the virtual terminal reporting. But as Jen mentioned, there is a new feature that we just released for Rock Terminal Plus that allows a merchant, if they prefer to log into the virtual terminal first and activate the device from the virtual terminal, we can enable that as well. So it can work either way. That's most of the questions. Jen, anything to wrap up before we go for the day?
No, I don't think so. Like we said, if you guys think of any other questions, if you want demo accounts, email us at askpsm@payrock.com. We're happy to get questions answered for you guys. We're happy to get demo accounts set up for you guys. Again, whatever you